Brandon?
Did we get Cerna? Do you know?
No, Judge.
Perhaps Monday, maybe? I'd like to look them up. You know,
Yeah.
we'll look them up.
Okay. Have a seat in the very
You are Mr. Deshawn? Sir, you're charged with reckless driving. You're facing up to 30 days in jail and or a $500 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir.
Your Honor, I apologize, maybe sure.
Deshawn is D-E-S.
Your Honor, on March 27, 2025, in Harris County, Texas, a law enforcement officer observed a vehicle make an improper turn, nearly causing an accident with the vehicle turning next to him by turning into the wrong lane. The defendant then traveled 88 miles per hour in a 50-mile-an-hour zone and made an unsafe lane change while speeding.
That's it?
Yes, Your Honor. The information, the charging instrument alleges that
Oh,
the reckless driving is based on a willful and wanton disregard for the safety of persons by driving more than 35 miles over the posted speed limit.
I'm gonna do this. I'm going to take more time with yours. Just take a seat for me in the jury box so I don't forget about you, Mr. Deshawn. I'm not ready to make a ruling on this yet. Grab your stuff. Just hang tight with me. Can you point him somewhere real quick?
Yes.
Yeah.
Page 5.
Mr. Raymond. The reckless driving judge, do you want him up?
No. I had a bit of an issue with this. That's why I wanted to appoint him someone to see. Go to the left. Out of view. There we go. Okay, perfect. Okay, so can you read me the DIMS again, Alex? please?
Yes, Your Honor. So on March 27, 2025 in Harris County, Texas, officer observed the vehicle made an improper turn, nearly causing an accident with the vehicle turning next to him by turning into the wrong lane. Defendant then traveled at 80 miles per hour in a 50-mile-per-hour zone and made an unsafe lane change while speeding. Also, I watched the video for this one, so I can answer questions on what actually was observed or what I observed on video.
So
Even
let's break it.
Complaint, it basically alleges unsafe lane change. It doesn't really.
Is that the basis for the reckless driving, the unsafe lane change?
So the way that the charging instrument reads is essentially, in word for word, is a recklessly drive a vehicle in willful and wanton disregard for safety of persons and property by driving more than 35 miles per hour over the posted speed limit, making unsafe lane changes, causing other drivers to have to take evasive action and avoid collision with the defendant's vehicle.
Is that what you saw?
As I did not observe any vehicles having to take evasive action. What I observed specifically was the defendant coming out of the parking lot on Theater Road. He does cut across 3 lanes to go to the far lane. But I didn't see any vehicles having to take evasive action, slam the brakes on. In terms of speeding, I'm not sure if he was speeding or not, but it did look consistent with the flow of traffic with the exception of passing other vehicles.
Coronado?
That's,
I'm going to admonish you.
I think that's fair, Your Honor.
Come up. Who is it again? Mr. Deshawn, do you watch the news?
Yes, sir.
Do you really? Do you really watch the news? Every single day in our county, someone dies because of a boneheaded move that's made in a car. Every single day, not just one, multiple lives are taken on our streets just because people drive in such a manner that they end up killing someone. You know, yours is not the worst, and I'm going to find no probable cause. But be safe. You know, we're not asking for much. Don't drive unless you have a license. Don't drive unless you have car insurance. I tell you, I get so many emails every week because people, how can you help me? Because I have someone that's suing me for $50,000 because I got into an accident, a crash, and I broke their car. They literally ask me to represent them and help them because they don't know where to go to, where to turn because someone filed a lawsuit against them. If someone does that and you get a judgment against you, you're hosed. Get car insurance. And when you drive, do it in a manner that you're not going to injure or kill someone. We're not asking for much. All right?
We had a conversation about that already, Judge.
Be safe. It's not much. You know, if you got to get somewhere in a hurry, leave earlier. All right? All right, I'm going to find no probable cause in your case. All right. Take care, man. B, hey, if I see you back, it's not going to go. All right, please.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thanks, Alex.
What we just witnessed is a reminder of how the justice system is supposed to work when it functions properly. This was not a dramatic case. There were no injuries, no destroyed lives, no irreversible outcomes. And that is precisely why this moment matters, because reckless driving charges are serious and the consequences attached to them are real: jail time, fines, permanent records. The law does not treat those lightly, and neither should the court. What stood out here was not emotion, but restraint. The charge alleged reckless driving based on willful and wanton disregard for safety, a very high legal standard. Not careless, not inconvenient, not aggressive, reckless. And when the facts were examined carefully, not assumed, not exaggerated, that standard simply was not met. The officer was honest. He did not overstate what he saw. He did not stretch the facts to fit the charge. He acknowledged what was observed and, just as importantly, what was not. No evasive action by other drivers, no clear evidence of excessive speed beyond traffic flow, no near collision supported by the video. That honesty matters, because probable cause is not about what could have happened, it is about what actually did happen. Courts do not punish potential outcomes, they rule on evidence. And when evidence does not rise to the level required by law, the correct decision is not punishment, but dismissal. At the same time, the judge did something equally important. He separated legal judgment from personal responsibility. Finding no probable cause does not mean reckless behavior is acceptable. It means the court will not misuse its power to make an example out of someone when the legal threshold has not been crossed. The warning was clear, firm, and appropriate. Driving is not trivial. Every day, lives are lost because of careless decisions behind the wheel. The courtroom is not blind to that reality, but the courtroom is also not a place for fear-based justice. This is what balance looks like: accountability without overreach, caution without punishment, law applied as written, not as feared. And that's a critical distinction, because when courts begin lowering standards just in case, everyone becomes vulnerable to the same logic. Justice is not about teaching lessons through charges that cannot be legally supported. Justice is about knowing when to say no, even when concern is justified. Now I want to ask you, did the judge get this right by separating legal standards from moral warnings? Should courts ever stretch charges to send a message, or does that undermine justice? And if this were you standing there, would you want the law applied cautiously or emotionally? Share your thoughts below.